Olá pessoal, boa tarde. Meu nome é Victor, eu sou o responsável pelos eventos do Reactor São Paulo. Obrigado a todos por estarem aqui. Esta nossa sessão hoje é um evento que foi gravado previamente, então a gente vai começar com um vídeo, que é o Female Founders Fireside Chat. As duas fundadoras foram entrevistadas, né? Elas estão mudando o seu setor e causando impacto em suas comunidades em 2 continentes diferentes, Europa e América Latina. Então, elas vão falar um pouquinho de desafios, lições aprendidas até agora na construção de suas startups em crescimento. Antes de começarmos, tem algumas informações para compartilhar. Peço que leiam o código de conduta da Microsoft. Resumidamente, que todos sejam amigáveis e respeitosos com todos, incluindo os palestrantes. O Reactor é um lugar onde todos são bem-vindos. Caso alguém não tenha feito check-in neste evento, peço que façam no link que já está aí no chat, informando o ID 14152. Algumas orientações. O evento é gravado ao vivo e nos próximos dias a gravação estará no nosso canal do YouTube. Utilizem o chat para perguntas, dúvidas e comentários ao longo da sessão. E eu vou compartilhar também outros 2 links no chat. Um é a página do Reactor São Paulo no Meetup. E o outro é para vocês se cadastrarem e receberem a nossa newsletter mensal, e conhecerem todas as próximas sessões e informações sobre o Reactor São Paulo. Bom, então vamos lá. Vamos começar o vídeo, aproximadamente 45 minutos. E ao término do vídeo, teremos as speakers ao vivo para as perguntas e respostas.
Session.
Okay. So hello everyone. Happy International Women's Day. We're so happy that you decided to spend next 30 or 45 minutes with us. My name is Vladimira, and I'm a startup program manager in Czech and Slovak Republic, where I'm responsible for technical incubator, which is called Microsoft for Startups, where we are helping startups to scale up further and faster. And together with Cristina, we decided to bring this important topic today. So, Cristina, maybe you can also introduce yourself a little bit.
Yes, of course. My name is Cristina Gonzalez. I work for Microsoft, have been with Microsoft for several years already, working with our wonderful technical community. So I'm a community program manager for 2 of the biggest community programs run by Microsoft, and it's the MVP and the RD program. And I am also very glad to be here today with you, celebrating the Women's International Day.
Yeah, perfect. So before we jump into the panel discussion, I can probably really briefly say some logistical information about how this event is being operated. So this event is pre-recorded. So what does it mean in a practical way is that now when you're watching this, we are live. So if you guys have any questions regarding our speakers or us, please feel free to reach out to us, and we are happy to answer all of your questions. And yeah, I think now it's time to welcome and introduce our panelists here. So we have Vivian here. Hi, Vivian. Hi. So Vivian is the CEO at Bito Brazil and Master Data Lab, and she has more than 20 years of experience working on IT positions. And also she's a mother, and she's taking care of her son. So hi, Vivian.
Hi, thank you for inviting me to this session. I am pretty glad to be here, and I expect to share a little bit of experience and knowledge about these so important topics that we are going to discuss here.
Yes, and we also have Karin Fuentesova with us today. She is a young entrepreneur with experience in the financial world that at some point decided to run her own company and her own business. That it's Digi2 Tech. And she is also having a conversation with us today and sharing how it is or it's been for her being an entrepreneur.
Hi, guys.
Perfect. And maybe what we can also mention is a kind of fun fact. So we're actually representing 4 countries. So this is a really diverse panel. We have Czechia, Slovakia here, Spain, and Portugal. So you can hear our lovely accents here.
I'm Brazilian. Also, I live in Portugal, but I'm Brazilian. So representing 2 countries here.
Wow, so even 2 continents, you know, that's cool. Perfect. And also maybe we can say a little bit more why we decided to bring this important topic today here with Cristina, because, you know, today is International Women's Day, and the situation is like, we all know that there is kind of a gender equality gap here regarding women in leadership position and so on. And let's just check the data, and only 6% of Fortune 500 companies are led by women. Only 2% of VC money is invested in female adventures. So we were thinking about talking more about, you know, how is it to being a female entrepreneur, what kind of challenges you need to go through when you're a female entrepreneur, and so on. So I'm pretty sure this will be a really incredible conversation. And yeah, let's jump into it. So, you know, Vivian, when I was checking your LinkedIn profile, let's start with you, because I can see you on my as a first, you know, person in my screen. I checked your LinkedIn profile when I was working on this and checking your bio, and there are very many things which you are working on and so on. For example, you are a data and AI solution architect lead, technical trainer and writer, CEO, entrepreneur, Microsoft regional director, most valuable person, and so on. So, you know, it's kind of impressive profile, let's say it in this way. So can you please tell us more what you're doing and how your day usually look like?
Thank you, Vladimira, and thank you all for joining. Sure. Basically, I have 3 companies, 2 focused on data analytics and data science, helping customers to drive through the digital transformation that they need, changing the way they connect with their customers and partners. These 2 businesses are very focused on consultant training. I have one in Brazil, focused to attend customers in Latin America, and another here in Europe. The 3rd one I just started this year. It's focused to importing products from different countries to Europe. The first country, of course, I am importing some products from Brazil to sell here in Europe using digital marketing. And the plan in the future is selecting some products from Europe to start exporting to Brazil. And nowadays, with this, during these COVID times, my daily basis is behind the computer, the laptop. Basically, you know, managing teams, initiative, mentoring students, because I have a platform, EAD platform that we teaching about data analytics and data science. So I do some kind of mentoring to students and to my customers. I need to understand my customer needs and see the best way to help them. Work building strong architectures to support data initiatives. And in the past, I used to be very present in the events and inside of my customers. And as soon as all this passes, I hope to be there again. But for now, I am behind the computer, managing everything in Brazil and here, using all the tools and solutions we have for this.
Wow, Vivian, this is amazing. So I think it requires a lot of dedication running the 3 companies. So that brings me to the next question. Besides of all professional achievements, it's essential also to say, and very important thing, you know, of your life, that you're also a mother. How do you handle professional and personal life? What helps you to keep the balance?
You know, it's a challenge, but I think that the secret to all this is having transparent dialogue and respect. I have every single day I talk to my son to understand about his feelings, about his challenge, and how can I keep helping him more on his path. The same thing I have with the rest of my family, but more in a weekly basis. And at the same time that I am trying to mapping when they need more from myself, I am always exposing to them all the things that are happening on my life, and if sometime I need some help from their side too. And I think that this is quite important to keep the balance. And you know, this kind of challenge, it's not just for entrepreneur women, but for all women. You know, we need to conciliate an intense schedule of trips in the past. Nowadays, not so much, but in the past, I used to travel a lot. Meetings, we have child's activities at the school, taking care of home, being a present mom, you know, going to the gym, and how we survive doing all these kind of things. Sometimes I just get asking this to myself too, but I am a person with a lot of energy, and I think that this helps. And I will bring here one thing that happened to me. I think that it was a very challenging moment. I had 1 year when my son was with about 10 years old, that he was diagnosed with anxiety crisis, and he had some kind of micro seizure in the brain that caused some kind of memory loss. And this brought to us on that time several issues and challenges, because he started to taking some very strong medicine that caused some side effects. And it was a year that I needed to balance even more my life. And you know, my son is my top priority. So during that year, I decided to put a lot of energy to help him to pass through all this. And of course, that during these difficult times, you can't be 100% focused on your business. And because of, and I needed to slow down on that moment to stop to traveling, because I used to travel a lot. And I think that one thing that we need to have in mind every day, and I do this kind of exercise every single year, and every day and every week, what are my top main priorities? And on that year, I just realized that my main priority was my son. And basically, during these difficult times, I believe that there are 3 things that really helped me to keep moving on. One is people. You need to have a good team that you can count on to keep you running the things when you are not there 100% available for your business. And I always had a person, right arm, you know, that person that I could count on my personal and professional life. And this was quite important for me. I never been alone. Even when I am alone, for example, here in Europe, it's just me and my son, but I am not alone. I always have people that are helping me inside of the business and outside of the business. I think that another very important thing is have a good cash flow, because there will be times that maybe you cannot be 100% focused on business, and maybe you will not have all that revenue that you usually have. So you need to have a good cash flow to be able to pass through this. And the third one, faith, because you know you need to keep yourself calm during these moments and have faith that the things will pass and they will get better, because it will, in the end, they will get better.
Wow, this is, yeah, I think this is very personal, and Vivian, it's something that can apply for different spheres of your life. Right now, I think, you know, we all need to have a lot of faith, because we're going through uncertain times, probably entrepreneurs more than bigger companies or businesses that are maybe a little bit more consolidated in the industry. That it's you know, for sure, I think there are 3 things that you know, will make us reflect and think a little bit about during this period of time.
Exactly. Yeah. Sorry, Cristina, if you wanted to ask.
No. Go ahead, because I see that Karen has been very quiet, and we've got a lot of questions for her as well.
Yeah.
Exactly, and I'm really glad that you ladies opened the topic regarding handling, work-life balance, relationships, slash work balance. We will definitely cover this topic later on as well. And I know that both of you are mothers, right, Christine and Vivian? So you're kind of sharing the similar problems, let's say, or challenges, let's say it in this way. And then also I know Karin, and we're, I guess, at the same age. And I was always wondering, Karin, because you are the CEO of your own company. So yeah, I'm not. I don't have my company yet, but I was wondering, like, how did you come up with an idea to be your own boss? And what was, the thing or inner voice telling you, Karen, this is the right thing to do right now, and so on. If you can just share with us this story.
Yes, actually, it's a little bit funny, but I'm 35. But at age 23, I started my first business, an accounting and tax office. But my current prejudice is less than 2 years old. So being a leader in tech company is something new to me. And I'm actually learning how to be right CEO or product owner every day. So, but when you ask me of my inner voice, you said it quite accurately, because it's about inner voice. It's very strong feeling that you have to do it. You have to go that direction and solve the problem. And even if everyone envision a different direction for you, so it was difficult very much, but I think that's very important. Listen your voice, or be intuitive, and I think that's kind of woman thing. So use it.
Intuition is pretty important. Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah,
That
I
is
agree with that, with you, and I think that you are probably one rare example of somebody who goes into an entrepreneurship process at such a tender age, right? And therefore, I think we probably, that raise people's curiosity, and would like to know a little bit more from your experience being a young female founder working in the tech industry. How do you get being taken seriously as a CEO of your own company in this industry? Probably, I don't know if you have this issue right now, but maybe you had that at the very beginning when you were 23, right?
I think this issue, it's an issue in this age as well, because I am a woman, and and 35. I think it's not about age, and I think it's not about gender. I don't know why people take me seriously or respect me. I would say that I have a strong vision which inspires intelligent people around me, and I automatically respect them. So I think that respect is very important when you work with people, because they will respect you in the same dose. And the other thing is that you have to be good at what you do. And for example, when you don't understand something, or you don't know what you do, you have to just admit it, and the intelligent people around you will support you and help you move forward.
Yeah, I think this is probably very savvy as well, right? That you need to learn from intelligent people, and maybe surround yourself by these people that can help you through and help you grow professionally and in your business. And being honest as well, as you mentioned, I think it's something for most of the people, it's very important when you're an entrepreneur, right? Because it's the way that you will gain respect. So thank you. It's so wonderful, wonderful tips, Karin.
Thank you.
Also, yeah, Vivian, maybe if you have some experience to being maybe the only woman in the room, because we know the tech industry is really male dominated. If you ever experience something, like this.
Yeah, a lot. And it's still, nowadays we are in 2021, and I don't understand how can I be the only one in a meeting with 10, 20 men. No, we should have more women here.
Yeah.
And no, and sometimes what I feel, I have two different roles in Brazil and here in Europe. And in Brazil, I am quite known person. So usually when I started, I was pretty young. I started with 13 years old. So, I started in a moment that there are no women working on the technical, almost, no, we had women, of course, but I was in a small city. And so in there, for sure, we didn't have any teenager working fixing computers. And I used to take a very large luggage together with me with a lot of tools, because I used to open the computers and fix the motherboards. And I had moments that the customers just look at me, this 13 years old, a girl is saying that my computer needs to do this and this and this. And so they asked to bring a man or a boy to, say the things that I was mentioning, because they were not just believing me. But it was very in the beginning. And so in Brazil, I run a lot of events, and so I don't have so many problems. And there I see more women in the meetings than here in Europe. And especially here in Europe, I just started here two years and a little bit more ago. And here I feel more this, that I am joining, I am the only woman, and as I am not so known like in Brazil, sometimes, I need to fight more to have the respect, to be heard in the meetings, because usually men like to talk a lot and show up themselves a lot, and sometimes they don't let you to talk, and you need to impose yourself hard to be heard, to be listened, and to participate actively in the meetings.
If I say something about that, I think that in order for men to take you, you have to show that you understand the processes, context, and you have to bring added value and idea which they don't see. And after it takes time, but they find out that you are a very important part of the whole team, and they will start to respect you. And it sometimes happens to me that, for example, new members or business partner automatically assume that I don't understand the issue because they don't know that I'm behind the whole thing. And it's just a moment, and after they understand that you understand very, very well, and you are behind them, and they will start to respect you. So I think that's not, maybe I'm not sure that it's about gender, maybe some stereotypes or something, but they need time. They need time, and when they'll see that you are good, they will accept you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this is really interesting because we wanted to talk a little bit about that as well, about how men and women are perceived differently in industries like the tech industry, for example. Right, and you talk a little bit about what it's supposed to, what characteristics or strengths are supposed to be more tied to a feminine role than a masculine role, right? And it's also interesting what you mentioned, Vivian, about the differences between running a business in Brazil, right, as a woman entrepreneur, and compared to Portugal or to Europe. That's really interesting as well. And so therefore, probably, you know, women in general, as probably everybody, also male as well, even if they don't recognize that, they have they have sometimes suffer what we call the imposter syndrome, right? And I wanted to ask you whether, you know, you experience that sometime, and whether you have any tips or tricks or something that help you to overcome that.
Yeah, it's for me.
Any of you. So if you like to go, maybe Karin, you can go first if you like.
Okay. I am not sure that imposter syndrome is my case, but I doubt my abilities every day, and I think it's normal because all of this forces you to constantly work on yourself and move forward. It's not that negatively affects my decision because I have a lot of great people around me. So when I feel insecure or I'm not sure about something, I ask them a lot, and after I make a decision. And my doubts help me working on me even harder, and it's not affect my self-confidence. I think it's two different parts of my personality, because when I have some doubts, I fight with that. So I think that my confidence is okay. It's problem, or you don't know something, learn it.
That's really great. So it's I think probably this is something that everybody needs to learn, how to make for one of the things or the maybe technical topics or situations where you think you need to you may feel a little bit weak because there is a lack of knowledge or something like that.
Exactly.
That you make
It's
a
normal.
strength out of it, right? That
Yeah.
you work hard and make a strength out of it.
And it's temporary. You can change it. So if you don't if you don't know something, you can ask or learn it.
Okay.
That's actually a really perfect attitude about this topic.
Yeah. How about you, Vivian? So have you ever experienced that? I don't know if it's something that you have faced or you usually face, or
several times. Yeah, and I still face sometimes. Yeah, but you know, I think that it will be days that you are not feeling so good. Sometimes things are not running as expected, and it seems a lot of things just do not work right. And usually during these days, it's more common you face this kind of feeling. And basically, my secret here is disconnect for a while. I go to the beach. I love beach. Recharge your batteries. Know what to recharge your batteries. Sleep well. I used to practice some meditation sometimes. And, you know, get better for another day. Develop your gaps. If you identify that this feeling is because you have some gap on your skills, as Karen mentioned, you need to work on them. You know, but you cannot just give up and be there focused on this feeling. You need to, you know, step back a little bit, disconnect for a while, recharge your batteries, and get back and better in the another day.
That's perfect. You know, I wish everyone will have this mindset and so on. And what I realize is also that being a female entrepreneur is tough. I'm not saying like being a man entrepreneur or male entrepreneur is not hard or something difficult, but probably what I would like to know is like what kind of challenges you ladies had to go through, and if you have some kind of, you know, learning points, like this is something would I have done differently, and so on. This could be something, really inspirational for other women as well.
I think that one of my biggest challenge, it was that one that I mentioned, because I need to conciliate my family and professional. And there was another one. It was with a very huge and big project that I got in the past with the government in Brazil. and I needed to hire 30 people in 1 week. So it was, the deadlines were quite short. So I need to hire 30 people in 1 week and train them to jump in the project, a very complex project, and inside of a very political way. You know, Brazil working with government in the political side, it's not easy. And this was one of my most challenging projects ever. I remember on that time talking with a lot of very senior guys, mentioning the things, and just no, it's not possible. During this time, in 45 days, we will not deliver this. It's completely, you know, it's not possible. And I just jumped in and got the challenge and made the things work. And of course, I slept very few hours during 2 months because it was very challenging in a lot of aspects, in terms of deadline, in terms of project complexity. I needed to prepare my team to not just on the technical side, but to survive in that political environment that was quite difficult. But it was really, really great. And the lesson learned that I take from this, I think, is, you know, when you have these huge challenges, you need to follow your intuition, because the only thing that it was saying to me that I would be successful in the end, it was my intuition. Just knowing that, yes, it's possible. I go there, you know, I cannot fail on this, I need to deliver. And I brought this kind of mindset to the team, and we got it, and it was an awesome experience.
I think that for me is a challenge every day. It's very big pressure for me. Sometimes I cry. It's the great one when I cry. It's because it's really easy. And for example, today I was speaking with my investors, and it's big investment fund, very important. And they told me, Karin, you have to change your attitude and personality, because you are very direct, and you have to be. So another challenge for me. So I think that building a company is challenge for me. It's challenge every day. Every day you work with your own personality, with people, with investors, with customers, with everybody, and it is big pressure, because on the top you are alone. Even that you have great people around you, you have to do the decision, and it's very difficult.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad that you're actually currently opening this topic about dealing with investors and so on, because I'm also, this is one of my, I don't want to say hobbies, but I'm really interested in gender investment gap also, and I know that you have experience with handling with different type of investors and so on. So had you ever experienced, like, you know, some gender biases regarding, you know, asking for raising or regarding raising startup capital and so on? And also I think there is a huge correlation between female angel investors and then female founders raising startup capital, because, you know, VC world and investment world, it's really male dominated. So how is your perspective, you know?
First of all, it's a great question. First of all, I think this funding is not about, it's about founder, not gender. About how he or she can make his or her idea come true. Is she has a good team? Has a good business plan, good pitch and drive. But unfortunately, in my experience, female founders are unprepared when asking for investment. So, for example, a few months ago, I was on some female event, and there were 3 female founders with their pitch, and I was so surprised that they were not ready for it. Their presentation was very bad. They lacked the basic information about their startup, and it was clear there was a lot of preparation. So how then can you trust such a founder? The investors need data and structure, and not just idea and passion. And I think it's a very big problem for a female founder, because they focus on social aspects. They more social than business, and for example, they cannot prepare. If some female entrepreneurs listen us, please prepare it for investment. Prepare business plan. You have around you is a lot of people who will help you, and men needs argument, pragmatic arguments, not only idea. You have to deliver your idea, not just passion. And I don't know female investor very much, because I work on male investors a lot, so they contact me a lot, and I think that it's not about gender, it's about idea and founder. So now we get a very great investment fund. I cannot say name, but it was very tough. It was very difficult, and they have a lot of questions. And it's important be more business, or find people which they can deliver what you need.
Yeah, well, Karin, this is really interesting when you with what you shared, and it's something that maybe professional female in general, not only entrepreneurs, we should focus a little bit more on. Because, well, with Vladimira, we went through several stories and reports to prepare for this conversation today. So we found a recent study conducted by Learning, an organization like McKinsey and Co.
Mm-hmm.
Where they state that women are negotiating for raises and promotions as much as men. But at the same time, whenever they get a little bit aggressive, they oftentimes are perceived as being bossy or intimidating or aggressive. And you mentioned that before, that you got this tip from your investors saying that you need to be a little bit more diplomatic.
Yeah.
Which is, I think that's totally unfair, because how can you possibly find the balance, right? You need to do.
I think it's not possible, but I love one quote by Steve Jobs. I think that was Steve Jobs. If you want to make everyone happy, don't be a leader, sell ice cream. So I think it's important, don't care how we are perceived, if we are closer to the goal. And self reflection is very important, because they are right. I am a little bit aggressive, and direct, but yes, I think that everybody think Karin is bossy woman, blah blah blah, but I don't care. I care about the
results.
Exactly.
Some time ago, I just read about, I saw a post, I believe, on Instagram, that it mentioned something about every time you are being labeled as aggressive, continue being assertive, bossy, continue leading, difficult, continue telling the truth, intimidating, continue winning space, and strange, continue asking difficult questions. So it's much related with the things that we used to listen, because sometimes people or men, they are not used to have women more in the leadership, being in the lead. And I would say that you need to wake up every morning knowing your value, and a lot of people will try to convince you that you value is less than what you believe, but don't believe on them. Keep fighting, position yourself to get what you deserve. And
Exactly.
we don't should reduce ourselves to please people. We are much more incredible being ourselves, positioning. And other thing I believe to have in mind here, we were just discussing about, having more women on the entrepreneur side, on the leadership, or as investor. But the reality is that when we are raised, we grow up listening other things. For example, when I was a teenager and quite young, my father used to say to me, "Oh, you need to learn how to clean the house because this is what female do. You need to be polite and soft and delicate."
Mm-hmm.
And on the business, on the entrepreneur side, I've never heard my father saying, "Oh, you need to position yourself strong and be there fighting for your space." We don't grow up listening this kind of things, So we need to treat on the base, I think, to start having more women in the leadership and position as investors, and more occupying more space on these areas.
Yeah, and I think that brings us to another really interesting topics, that it's, that everybody, I think not only women, I think as a society, we all hold responsibility for really change these behaviors that are so really deep into our cultural stamp.
Exactly.
And our social stamp, that we expect different roles for women and for men we are at a very tender age, from the childhood, that really limits the capability of women when they get adults to take initiatives, to hold accountability for themselves, for the companies, to really go and fight for the things that they want to do. So, which is really something really important. And sometimes, even if you think that you are not biased, deep inside yourself, even if you don't notice it, sometimes you are as well. So in my case, I don't think I show that maybe in a professional environment, but on the private space, because I have a daughter, and when she was younger, I remember that she always got dolls as presents for Christmas. And she hates them. She doesn't like to play with dolls. But I was really upset by the fact that she needed more and more dolls. And I came to a point when I realized, why am I doing this, right? She has the right to be herself and to be, whatever she likes. And probably I'm not doing her any favor, pushing her to play with dolls, because she will live in a completely different world as we are living today. Right, and it's really important to develop this self-confidence from a very tender age, maybe. And with that, I think I will pass the word to Vladimira, because I've been talking too much.
That's perfect. The only negative thing regarding this conversation is just we are running out of time, and we should definitely have another version of this conversation next time. But if I can have some last words, and I really like this discussion, and I would like to ask you, ladies, about what is your advice for all female founders who are just starting out and they're not confident enough to start, and so on. Something like a last message you can, spread to the world.
Yeah. Pay attention on your intuition. It is always right. Surround yourself with positive and good people. Yes. Choose your right arm. I think that this was very important during all my life. The person that will help you on your personal and professional life. Build a good cash flow. It's pretty important. Be aware we have peaks and valleys with highs and lows, and you need to keep yourself calm when you are crossing some lows, and have faith that the things will pass and things will get better, because they will. And trust in yourself.
That's perfect. Cristina, Karin, sorry.
Okay, I don't know what to say. It was difficult. It will be difficult. It will be very difficult. It will be big pressure. So you need great people around you, and they will help you. They will support you. It's very important, people. And please be prepared when you will ask for investment.
We will use this as a, highlight of this conversation. No, I'm kidding.
And we will have a session with Karin where she will be sharing the best practice to do this.
Yeah, I will.
How to do the pitch
Yes.
in front of the investors. Yeah, exactly. We can have a, next sessions. Cristina, if you would like to, wrap it up and so on, feel free to do some last sentences.
Okay, thank you. No, it has been wonderful talking to you. So thank you very much for joining in the conversation. I think we had so many more questions to ask you, but your testimonials and your point of views based on your experience are really helpful, I think. So I would like to really encourage every, women in the tech world, in the tech industry, or in any other industry that has a brilliant idea, to push herself, to look for people that can help her through the entrepreneurship process. Believe in yourself. I think Viviane mentioned that at the beginning, and also Karin, that it's important to have faith on yourself, right? And also, I'm sure that you will find people in the way that will be able to help you. And one more thing that I think it's easy to say, but it's difficult to do. Don't be afraid of doing mistakes. I think the only way for human beings to learn in life is by doing mistakes. So don't be afraid of that.
Yeah, don't be afraid to that make parts of the process.
It's great. Yes, mistake is important.
Exactly, and thank you guys for watching us, and also we are still here live and ready to answer all of your questions which you might have in the live chat here. So please, we are here and we are ready to answer all of them. Hello.
Hello. Muito boa tarde a todos. É bom, né? Boa tarde já no Brasil, né? Tô no fuso horário aqui de Lisboa.
Olá, boa tarde. Muito obrigada por nos invitar a participar nesta sessão. Eu gostei imenso de ouvir ainda mais uma vez a sessão e a conversar com você, Viviane, com Karin, com a minha colega Vladimira. Uma questão que tenho em mente agora é porque você cresceu profissionalmente no Brasil, é ali que foi reconhecida como líder da comunidade técnica, como experta em tecnologias, recebeu o prêmio MVP Most Valuable Professional Regional Director. Eu, como responsável do programa MVP Regional Director no Portugal, gostava de saber como é que foi a sua transição no Portugal, e como é que é a sua relação com a comunidade técnica, e como é que a comunidade técnica, se calhar, ajudou a você a crescer e a desenvolver o seu business e a sua carreira profissional no Brasil, e como é que você percebe, quizás, a relação com a comunidade agora no Portugal?
Perfeito, perfeita pergunta, Cristina. Eu também sempre adoro assistir essa sessão, foi excelente. Referente ao processo de transição, né, que foi do Brasil para Portugal, para a Europa. e a comunidade técnica. Então, para quem não conhece o programa, a gente tem um programa de MVP, que é o Most Valuable Professional, e nós temos também um programa de RD, que é Microsoft Regional Directors. São 2 programas distintos, um com foco, né, mais na comunidade, que faz a parte de deep dive técnico, né? Então, se você compartilha conhecimento, você tem uma expertise técnica profunda em cima de determinada solução da Microsoft. A Microsoft está sempre olhando para esses profissionais e você recebe uma premiação da Microsoft, que é o prêmio que eu tenho da comunidade de MVPs. E também do Regional Director, mas o Regional Director, ele tem uma outra visão, que é muito mais com foco justamente na parte do business, do negócio, do quanto que você impacta dentro do ecossistema das empresas, né? E realmente traz a transformação digital dentro da sociedade e dos negócios. Para mim, fazer parte da comunidade acelerou muito o meu processo de transição, muito. Porque quando você muda de país, você começa do zero, né? Você precisa entender os seus clientes, você precisa entender o mercado, a região. A Europa, ela é riquíssima, porque são vários países e cada país tem uma realidade, uma estrutura diferente da outra. É língua que muda, é a parte cultural, tem muitas assim, mudanças e desafios no processo. Então, fazer parte da comunidade técnica me ajudou a acelerar muito o processo. Estar próximo também da Microsoft me ajudou a acelerar o processo. Eu cheguei em Portugal, em menos de 6 meses já estava rodando um evento aqui em Portugal junto com a comunidade técnica. Entrei em contato com os MVPs de Portugal, da Espanha, da Alemanha, porque eu estive em Berlim também participando de um evento no meu primeiro ano. Tive também nos Estados Unidos e tive em UK. E tudo isso nos meus primeiros 6 meses que eu estava aqui. Então, que normalmente isso não acontece. Você não está dentro de uma comunidade, inserido, participando, você chega, você está aqui sozinho, você precisa começar a lapidar pedra e isso tudo demanda tempo, né? Então, fazer parte da comunidade é algo que sempre, assim, me ajudou muito. Eu acho que ao mesmo tempo que a gente vem, a gente compartilha conhecimento, a gente também se dedica muito a compartilhar conhecimento, a impactar a sociedade, a fazer diferença dentro do nosso meio, a gente também recebe toda essa energia de volta, né? Então, é algo que é muito rico. E eu entendo também que quem faz parte da comunidade é porque realmente é uma paixão que nos motiva, né? De fazer a diferença. Então, para mim, eu tenho imenso prazer, a honra de fazer parte da comunidade. O que eu posso dizer para todo mundo, até como Lessons Learners, para quem está querendo fazer uma mudança, você fazer parte de uma comunidade faz toda a diferença. Hoje, em qualquer lugar do mundo que eu vá, eu posso conectar com alguém da comunidade que vai me dizer como o mercado funciona, qual que é a realidade dos clientes que tem lá, como que funciona até a questão cultural. E detalhes, assim, que nem são tanto da questão de business, mas, por exemplo, eu tive dificuldade até para alugar apartamento no início. E as pessoas me ajudaram nesse processo. Então, sou muito grata por toda a comunidade, por todo o apoio que eles deram ao longo dessa caminhada e desse processo.
Isto me fa muito prazer de ouvir isto, porque eu tenho, ao longo dos anos, uma sempre muito boa experiência com a comunidade técnica, visto que você está a dizer é também importante, que as pessoas que normalmente o que querem aprender e ouvir mais sobre tecnologia também encontram no caminho estas pessoas que também são muito espertas no mundo profissional e que podem também ajudar aqueles que estão a empreender um negócio, que estão em uma situação de uma mudança de trabalho, que estão na pesquisa de trabalho e que podem também ajudar a se desenvolver não somente a nível técnico, mas também a nível profissional.
Pessoal e profissional, inclusive, né? Então, é uma comunidade que tem uma troca muito grande, né? Tem uma riqueza aqui dentro. Ao mesmo tempo que, por vezes, nós nos reunimos para falar sobre impacto na sociedade, sobre iniciativas que vão mudar, seja um país, um bairro, uma região, uma escola, por vezes, a gente também compartilha questões do dia a dia pessoal, né? Então, vive, que dificuldade, qual dificuldade você está tendo? Então, estou precisando de um apartamento, aí você fala com alguém que já conecta com outra pessoa e que já te ajuda. Então, é realmente muito rico toda essa troca.
Sim. E também, Viviane, a minha colega Vladimira, também quer te perguntar mais uma coisa também a ti e também para mim. Eu penso que é uma questão que também, principalmente as mulheres, todas temos em mente quando pensamos a planificar ou a desenvolver a nossa carreira profissional. Quando chega no ponto de ter filhos, é que forçosamente tens que fazer alto no caminho e tens que tomar um tempo e às vezes é difícil depois a retomar a atividade profissional. Então, se quisieres, eu te deixo que tu nos expliques um bocadinho no teu caso como é que tu conseguiste fazer ou superar esta etapa e ser capaz de retomar ainda com mais energia e ainda com mais ilusão a tua atividade profissional.
Boa pergunta. Na realidade, seria aquela transição, né? De quem recém teve o filho e tem que voltar para o trabalho. Na época que eu tive meu filho, eu morava numa cidade bem do interior. Então, para mim, facilitou muito as coisas. De qual ponto de vista? Da minha casa, que seria mais ou menos o que eu tenho aqui em Portugal, mas da minha casa até onde eu trabalhava era 10 minutos. 10, 15 minutos. Então, acabou me ajudando muito, porque eu voltei a trabalhar. No Brasil, você tem 4 meses, né, de licença maternidade. Mas eu voltei, com um mês eu já voltei a trabalhar. Mas voltei a trabalhar no sentido, eu ia trabalhar, a cada 3 horas eu voltava para amamentar, ficar um pouco em casa, voltava para trabalhar mais um pouquinho. Mas isso tudo porque eu sempre fui muito workaholic, né? Então, para mim, ficar todos aqueles 30 dias em casa totalmente desconectado, quando passou os 30 dias, eu já tinha essa necessidade de voltar para o trabalho. E pela vantagem de eu morar no interior, de eu ter minha mãe próxima comigo, a minha família próxima comigo, me facilitou muito. Então, minha mãe acabava ficando em casa, me ajudava, né? Com ele pequenininho, eu tinha fácil acesso até aí a empresa ia voltar, porque era muito próximo. Então, eu acabei não sofrendo tanto. E uma coisa que eu digo muito, que eu acho que muitas mulheres têm medo porque, e não só mulheres, eu acho que a sociedade em geral vem de uma ideia que filhos consomem muito do seu tempo, né, que você vai acabar perdendo performance na sua área profissional. E na realidade, o que acontece é o inverso. Eu, depois que eu tive meu filho, eu tive um clique que a forma de ver o mundo mudou. Então, para mim, assim, o meu tempo se tornou muito mais escasso. Então, tudo que eu preciso decidir, eu tomo decisões muito mais assertivas no que eu realmente preciso focar, como eu preciso fazer. Eu me tornei muito mais produtiva. E um ponto também fundamental para mim, eu acho que eu dei um salto depois que eu tive o meu filho, é que ele passou a ser a minha maior motivação, a minha maior inspiração. Então, eu queria buscar cada vez mais, mas muito pensando no bem para ele, e graças a Deus, claro que a gente sempre teve momentos de desafio, eu comentei um pouco na nossa sessão, mas a gente sempre conseguiu ter uma qualidade muito boa, assim, um relacionamento muito bom, um tempo de qualidade junto, muito saudável.
Sim, eu concordo contigo pela minha experiência em quase todas as coisas que você está a dizer. No meu caso é diferente do teu, porque eu trabalho para uma companhia muito grande e então normalmente não é muito problemático para as mulheres de preencher a baixa maternal. Aqui também em Espanha é 4 meses, como no Brasil, pero é verdade que penso que é um período da minha vida, quando eu me lembro deste período, eu acho que eu vivi com um bocadinho de ansiedade, porque uno não sabe se vai ser capaz, depois de ter um filho, depois de ter um bebê, de voltar à atividade profissional. No meu caso, esto también ha requerido un cambio, una mudanza de la estructura familiar. También tivemos que ver, meu marido e eu, nós estamos a trabalhar a jornada completa, full time. Eu queria volver a trabalhar full time. Não queria perder a oportunidade de continuar a fazer um trabalho do que eu gosto imenso e que me faz muito feliz, e onde eu penso que estou a aprender coisas novas cada dia. Então, se tivemos que buscar uma pessoa que viniera a nos ajudar, e também eu tive que fazer este cambio, esta mudança, como tu estás a dizer, porque o tempo é muito mais escasso. Eu acho que eu depois me tornei muito mais produtiva, e também aprendi a distribuir no tempo de uma maneira diferente, porque o bebê tem as suas necessidades, não pode mudar, precisa de as coisas instantaneamente. Não podes dizer a um bebê que tem que esperar 2 horas pelo jantar, mas eu conseguia trabalhar a horas em que normalmente, antes de ter os meus filhos, eram horas que não eram produtivas. Sim, e também, como tu estás a dizer, eu me volvi mais assertiva, mais prática, e também aprendi a não desperdiciar o tempo. E a realidade é que depois consegues fazer muitas mais coisas do que estavas a fazer antes de ter os filhos. Pero é verdade que há também muitos casos de pessoas que têm que mudar também de emprego, porque se calhar estão numa situação um bocadinho mais difícil, ou com empregos que não podem se fazer quando tens filhos. Isto requer um cambio de mentalidade também, mas eu acho que é sempre positivo, porque sempre estás a aprender mais coisas. E gostei muito também do que estavas a dizer, que uma vez que tens filhos, também estás a refletir mais sobre o exemplo que tu queres dar aos teus filhos, e que eles também têm que ser capazes de assumir novos retos, novos challenges, de trabalhar mais duro, de ser, agora que estamos a falar tanto da resiliência, por exemplo, de volver-se mais resiliente até de cara às dificuldades. Não sei se vocês conseguem compreender o que eu estou a dizer, porque o meu português não é muito bom.
Tá ótimo. Inclusive, ali, complementando, eles esperam a nossa melhor versão, né? Eu acho que os nossos filhos vêm para isso. Todo dia eu acordo, quero trazer a melhor versão que eu tenho para ele, né? E esse é o lado bom, que a gente só descobre depois que a gente teve filho, né? Que, como eu disse, antes eu não tinha noção nenhuma, mas depois, assim, foi instantâneo, foi como se desse aquele clique. E a gente passa a ver o mundo de uma forma diferente, a gente passa também a querer toda vez despertar a nossa melhor versão para eles.
Uhum,
sim. Estamos aqui, ó, estourando o tempo da nossa sessão. Eu quero agradecer imensamente a Cristina e a Vladimira. A Vladimira, para quem não conhece, ela é Program Manager do ecossistema de startups da Microsoft, né? Ela lidera na Europa. E a Cristina, ela lidera o programa de comunidades técnicas, fica, né, baseada na Espanha. A Vladimira está quietinha aqui porque ela fala inglês, No, Vladimira, it's you speak in English, and so you are quite quiet today in the event, but thank you so much for joining us, Cristina, Vladimira, por essa sessão que ficou incrível, maravilhosa. Adorei fazer essa sessão com vocês na Europa e adorei poder trazer essa sessão para compartilhar aqui também na América Latina. Espero que tenhamos outras muito em breve. E para todos vocês que estão nos assistindo, muito obrigado por terem se juntado a nós em mais um encontro, em mais uma grande sessão. Nós temos mais uma, que vai ser a nossa última sessão da nossa série, na próxima quarta-feira. Junte-se a nós e participe com a gente. Bom, muito obrigada a todos. Tenham todos um excelente dia e uma ótima semana. Obrigada. Thank you. Thank you, Vladimira.
Thank you, ladies. It was great to meet you.
Muito obrigada. Thank you very much.